7:30 report, Lee Sales. There's a new political party called Flux that plans to disrupt their way into our political system and the way that it works. Let's meet the man behind Flux. Max, first of all, how will Flux disrupt as you boast?
So Flux can disrupt on several platforms. We're aiming to, oh man, I should definitely not say oh man and take a step back at that point.
That would be bad, yeah. Live TV. Keep going.
So we're going to disrupt politics by giving every Australian a chance to have a real say. We're going to empower community groups and other minor parties, and we're going to really open up the doors for people to offer their own policy suggestions and their own improvements to our system.
It sounds very Gen Y. What qualifications have you got to start a party like this?
Absolutely none. That's why we can expect good things. If I was to be a skilled politician or, come from the old guard, I would not expect to be able to contribute anything new or interesting. And because I have none of those previous biases, there's a real opportunity for innovation.
Your co-founder, Nathan Spataro, he dropped out of university. What were the circumstances around that?
I don't know.
I'm just going to make a mark on stuff that we're going to...
Yeah. So I think
an answer for that.
I have an idea of how to improvise a thing like that, which is both of us actually dropped out of university. We found that we were learning more outside, interacting with communities and new ideas than we were learning inside.
But don't you think the Australian public deserves someone with more than a high school qualification to disrupt our political system?
Our entire plan is to open the doors for regular Australians to be able to have a say. So if we were to put a different standard on us than on the rest of Australia, then I feel like we'd be hypocrites.
But the Australian public holds politicians to a higher standard. So you've got a conflict there.
I suppose so. What was the...
I'll put it to you again.
Yep.
Politicians in Australia are held to a higher account than general members of the public. That's the way it works.
So Nathan and I have both been able to demonstrate in all of our careers that we've got a strong ability to perform and to rise to any challenge. I think we'll be able to bring that to the political sphere as well.
Have you ever done drugs?
Yes.
What drugs?
Low-level recreational drugs.
Not an answer for that. Okay. Have you ever been in the presence of friends who are doing drugs?
Absolutely.
Are you aware that because you're now getting into politics, your friends and family are going to be under scrutiny as well?
Yes.
How do they feel about that?
I've had conversations with a few of them. They're all very supportive of me, and they're all very aware of the risks. So,
why should members of the public trust you if you've got no qualifications and you're a drug user?
Because we are at this stage the only people doing something new. We're the only chance we have at this election for change, and this is going to be the last election where we have this chance.
What security measures have you got in place to prevent someone manipulating your voting system?
We're building on some really battle-tested technology. Over the past few years, some great innovations in security have been implemented, particularly to do with hardware devices. All of this is managed in a decentralized fashion, so there's no central point of failure, and we have complete confidence that our architecture can perform at this national level.
But what about someone gaming the system by getting the entire Liberal Party to buy votes?
So we have several ways of being able to diffuse that potential. While we can't stop people participating, and we do want as many people participating as possible, there's only so much watering down that can actually happen. So because of the way that we deal with other minor parties, that limits the amount of, particularly the say in the bloc that we're forming, the say that Flux members have. And so while that can water down the ability of our members to have a say, it doesn't disturb the entire system, and it still means that we have a good base to form good policy.
That didn't make sense to me.
No, it didn't make sense to me either. I felt like I was trying to talk myself out of a corner.
Yeah.
Should we go that one again?
So what's stopping the Liberal Party all joining Flux and then pushing things through the Senate and using Flux?
So firstly, their membership is dwindling, so they might have trouble on that front. Flux is designed to include as many people as possible, so we actually do want people to join. The best defence, if something like this were to happen, were for everyone from Labor to get on board, everyone from the Greens to get on board, all of the other Australians to get on board, and just totally water down any of the coalition's attempts at trying to manipulate us from the inside.
then wouldn't we just have the same stalemate that we've got now?
No, because Flux is based on a system of swapping votes and reorganisation, that would actually be the optimum case. That's what we're going for. The reason Flux is special is that we take these Senate seats and then we give them back to people, but in a very particular way. And the more people we have under that system, the better policy we're going to end up with.
You've compared your model to Bitcoin, where you used to work, but as little as a month ago, one of Bitcoin's largest supporters and developers, Mike Hearn, declared Bitcoin a failed experience. By your comparison, do you anticipate the failure of Flux?
No. Mike Hearn's objections are worth noting. However, they don't undermine Bitcoin at a technical level. They're all very economic-centered objections. They're around the distribution of hardware and the borders around China. These are fair concerns, but they ultimately don't threaten us in terms of or they're at an existential level.
Do you honestly think in the first election this year you can get 6 Senate seats?
Yes. Being the sort of the underlying, yes. We're going to try and engage with minor parties and give them more than they would ever get if they were to run without us. And so by being sort of like an underlying layer for minor parties, we can attract their preferences and win a seat in each state.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks.